Good morning. I'm Savannah Sales. We're beginning this hour with a new development into the investigation of filmmaker Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle's death. In just the last hour, we're learning that their son, Nick Reiner, has been arrested in connection with their deaths. That's according to two law enforcement sources with direct knowledge of the investigation. It comes after paramedics and police were called to the Reiners' home yesterday afternoon in the Brentwood neighborhood. NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Melas joins me now with the very latest. Chloe, good morning. So what are the newest details that we have here? Obviously, this is a major development that the son is in custody.
Hey there, Savannah. Well, Nick Reiner, he's 32 years old, and he and his family have had a lot of ups and downs over the year. He has a long history of drug and alcohol addiction, which began in his teens. He did an interview in 2016 with People magazine saying that he spent periods of weeks sleeping on the streets, and he was in and out of rehab for addiction, which started when he was 15. And his parents spoke openly, especially his father, about trying to help him through his struggles. They even put out a movie several years ago about a young man by the name of Charlie that was based on Nick's life, and the relationship that he had mirrored the one in which he had with his father, Rob Reiner. And they did several interviews together. As you can see in these photos, they did an AOL Build series. They did interviews with The Hollywood Reporter, and they talked about the struggles that they had over the years. And Rob Reiner said that he gave a lot of tough love to his son, and it was really working on this film and this project in which he really saw addiction through the eyes of his son and realized that perhaps he had given too much tough love and shouldn't have listened to the experts so much and really listened to his son more. He is one of 4 children of Rob Reiner. Rob, when he was married to Penny Marshall for a decade, had a daughter by the name of Tracy, who he adopted when she was 2 years old. And I spoke to her on the phone last night from her home in New Mexico. She is en route to Los Angeles today, and she told me that she had the greatest family ever, Savannah, and that she just looks back on so much fondness with her family, and that she's shocked and still piecing together all of these details. But obviously, this is horrifying news for those who have known Rob Reiner and his family, worked with him, loved him, starred in his films, worked alongside him. And one of those individuals is Kathy Bates, who spoke out and said that she is just devastated and horrified by all of this. She worked with Reiner on the 1990 film Misery, and she said that he was a brilliant artist who changed the course of her life.
Chloe, tell me a little bit more about the reaction that we've seen pouring in. I mean, I know it's from people who have, as you mentioned, starred in his films, worked alongside him. You mentioned the reaction from his own daughter, but tell me a little bit more about all the things that we're seeing posted online this morning. Sure.
So Paul Feig, he posted a picture of himself with Rob Reiner saying that Rob was my true hero, a true visionary titan, and a lovely, lovely person. Josh Gad from Frozen posted on Instagram, "I cannot express how much this hurts. He cared so much for those who had no voices. The loss is devastating." Elijah Wood posting on X, horrified to hear of the passing of Rob Reiner and his wonderful wife, Michelle. So much love to their kids and family. And also, let's talk about what Ben Stiller also said on X. He said that Reiner was a kind, caring person who was really, really funny and made some of the most formative movies of my generation. I mean, speaking of those formative movies, When Harry Met Sally, A Few Good Men, Sleepless in Seattle, right? These are all films that have had an indelible mark on the entertainment industry, and no doubt more tributes will continue to pour in.
I'm sure they will. Chloe Melas, thank you very much for the latest there. Again, on this big and breaking news, a big development here. Rob Reiner's son, Nick Reiner, arrested in connection with parents' deaths for Rob Reiner, as well as his wife, Michelle Singer. Chloe, thank you for the latest on those tributes that we are seeing pour in from Hollywood and beyond.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.